Hey guys, what do I have here? Does this sign seems familiar? Let's check it out. Whoa. How do I do this? Let's put the gun here. Take this away. Check it out. Now that is a thing of beauty. So obviously I have the Huben K1, their wood version. So this is Walnut Stock, and we have some carbon fiber shroud and also some emulation of carbon fiber on the actual phone. Just a sec, guys. Sorry about that, guys. So back to the K1 wood. Now my father is a barrel maker for wine, so he works with wood every day. Or used to. He's retired right now. So that from my passion for wood probably originates from there, but this is really what I always wanted from K1. And in fact, the first time I actually were in contact with Huben, that is way before they were started to send me guns. They didn't even know about my channel probably at that time. The first thing I asked them when the wood stock will be available for it, because if you remember, right from the start they had the pictures with wood stock and with standard plastic or whatever you call it stock. So for me this is huge. I mean, I'm kind of a little bit old-fashioned guy when it comes to guns. You probably heard me sometimes say that I'm not really a fan of these bare bone guns like Impact or Prophet or whatever. But of course they are really practical and useful, and it's the thing that it will stay because it offers a lot of things that this kind of traditional guns don't. And in my opinion, there are really few bullpup design, especially air guns, that actually look good. I mean, for example, the UK is known for having really nice stocks and really nice stock guns, but for some reason none of their wood stock bullpups look good. They all look awful. And the first one that actually looked good to me, and I actually of course purchased it, was the Caliber Gun Cricket, and that gun is still one of the most beautiful guns in my collection in terms of bullpup. And definitely Huben is number one now, because I always liked the shape of Huben, but now that even has the wood stock, it's even prettier to me. I will say though, of course, the wood stock is not practical for everyone, and not everyone really likes how this looks. Of course, it's a lot more sensitive. It's also more expensive, of course, and you also worry more that you will scratch it or bump it or something like that. Also, for example, this piece is slightly more sensitive because, of course, you notice the wood is strongest with the grain, and against the grain or perpendicular to the grain is a lot less, so it can snap. But let's stop with this. So this gun feels like unbelievably good. I mean, it's so much better to grip this. This checkering is extremely beautifully done, and here is an engraving of Huben. It's slightly like, it looks like, let's say the laser was at a little low power, because it looks like it's washed off. So for me it looks really cool. I don't mind that I don't perfectly see all the signs on it. And it does feel, and I also measured a bit, it's a little bit chunkier, so it's has a little bigger dimension. It's a little more material here, because I can notice that I have to press in a little bit more to grip this lever. Yeah, and that's about it. But otherwise, it doesn't feel heavier. It's probably a little bit heavier, but not by much. So really, 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 really love it. That's just me. I mean, if you love it, you love it. Okay, so let's go through everything else that is different. And there is not that much else that is different. As I mentioned, shroud is actual carbon fiber. So it's a carbon fiber tube. And they have a new way of suppressing this gun. The barrel is still about, it's I think 54 centimeters long. And the new way of suppression, from what I've seen till now, the front part is the same, but the back shroud part is a little bit different. So we don't have any holes in the front. We only have them here on the back on both sides. Now, I did take off the shroud because I also wanted to check the barrel, and I will get to that soon. And I noticed that there is sort of a sleeve that goes directly all the way on the barrel in this shroud. And there is room around it where air travels back and goes out. I'm not exactly sure how it's done on the inside, but Huben claims that it's even more quiet than it was before. Now, personally, as a shooter, I will say to you, it's actually maybe a bit louder to you. But I'm pretty convinced that on front, and I will test this and I will present this in the next videos, I'm pretty convinced that on front side, it's actually quieter, because you know why it's louder for you, because now you have the hose here. So basically you get air blast right in front of you, so it's closer. The sound source is a bit closer for you, so that's why I think it feels a bit louder. But they say it's more quiet, and I will test this and confirm or say it's not true in one of the next videos. So the also new thing, it's not that new anymore for most of you, but from my side it is, because it's the first 22 caliber I have that doesn't have Lothar-Walther barrel. It has their new barrels. Now Huben did send me some information about the barrels they are using now, but I had some follow-up questions because some things didn't quite match up, and I will also present those that information in the next video when I have that confirmed. I haven't had it confirmed yet. But in any case, the barrel seems like it's 12 grooves, and the twist is about 1 to 17. I will confirm again this in the next video. I will say though, this, as I said in the previous video, the barrel manufacturing quality is definitely not in par with Lothar-Walther. It's lower quality, which is to be expected. It's, after all, this one is Chinese barrel. It's not German. Not that Chinese cannot make a good barrel, but it's definitely not in par with what Lothar-Walther provides. But there is something else that I keep mentioning in a couple of videos already, and I will mention it again. Barrel manufacturing process is not everything. Also, it's important that you have correct barrel for the application. And in terms of what Huben used before from Lothar-Walther, that barrel was really quality made, but it was never really correct for the application. It was okay for some projectiles, but mainly not for pellets. That's my main point here. And if we go back to this, it's because Huben is shooting from the magazine. And because of that, there is a really violent transition from the magazine to the barrel. And because of that, regular barrels that Lothar-Walther made that are actually extremely good are not really appropriate for this gun. And furthermore, Huben also provides an insane amount of powers in terms of airgun power. Those barrels, the Lothar-Walther, are actually only for lower velocities. They're good for let's say 800, 850, maybe in some cases, in some pellets 900 feet per second, but not more. So I will say this, that the 25 caliber barrel Chinese that I have it's actually a lot more appropriate for the pellets than the Lothar Walther was being used in this gun. And I think it's the same thing here. I haven't tested it much yet. I have basically shot JSB's Monsters redesign. Those worked extremely well. Since this barrel has a relatively high twist rate, it does need slightly lower velocity. I was a little high on velocities, but I still got groups like this size at 70 meters, so that's 76 yards. From the test I did till now, the slugs were a little worse, especially mine were not good, but it's really too soon to say. I have to make a lot more tests to really confirm that, and I will definitely do this and present you in the next videos. So without further ado, that's about it. I will share at the moment. I really like the stock, so that is the main thing for me from this gun. Now I got this gun from Huben Airgun's shop. Actually it's Huben shop only. I will post a link below, and I advise you to check that page if this gun is of interest to you. He is selling them. They are of course a little bit more expensive than the regular version because of the stock, but you do get some additional perks with it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I really look forward to test this more and present it to you. So you will definitely be seeing follow-up videos of this one. Thumbs up or down. Subscribe, and of course the bell. Thanks. Okay, so I'm here with Huben K1 2021 with JSB. Well, these are JSB Monsters redesign, but they're from Edgun, and I'm at 70 meters, and this is just the first group I shot with Monsters redesign. I definitely say that this barrel is more appropriate for pellets than slugs, but I couldn't believe it because, as I said, first group, and I didn't really try that hard. So this is from different. This is from slugs. You can see the different hole size. So this is the group. And this is just a fast group, and I probably pulled this one off anyway. So compared to my finger, compared to my pinky, that's impressive. 70 meters.